Read, attend, and comment, a deep architecture for automatic news comment generation, presented by Te.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Yang Ze. I'm the first author of this paper and come from Beihang University. Now I'm going to present this paper named Read, Attend, and Comment, a deep architecture for news comment generation. My presentation includes 4 parts. I will first introduce this task. Second, I will present our model, that is DeepCom. And finally, I will show some evaluation results. The automatic news comment generation is a new test band for ALG. It is first introduced in ACL 2018, and there are some follow-up works later. But incredibly, after we submitted this paper to arXiv, it attracted a lot of attention quickly. Many people discussed this task and mainly concerned with the ethical issues. To be honest, we didn't realize this problem, and when we were doing experiments and writing our intended target use, we explicitly disclosed the generated comments on entertainment news as being formulated automatically by an entertaining and engaging chatbot. After that, we updated the arXiv and camera ready. In the final version, we clearly stated that numerous uses of these techniques can pose ethical issues. There is a risk that people and organizations could use these techniques as scare to fake comments coming from people for purposes of political manipulation or persuasion. While there are risks with this kind of AI research, we believe that developing and demonstrating such technique is important for understanding valuable and potentially troubling applications of the technology. Besides this, to avoid abuse, we decided to withhold our dataset and source code. And I hope everyone can focus more on the method in this paper and explore the feasibility of other tasks like document-grounded conversation or summarization. Now let's focus on this paper. This is the architecture of our model DeepCom. We propose a reading network and a generation network to generate a comment from an article. The reading network comprehends a news and extracts some salient points from it. Then the generation network creates a comment by attending to the title and the extracted spans. In this figure, the left part is the reading network, which consists of 3 layers: the first, representation layer, fusion layer, and a prediction layer. The right part is the generation network. The representation layer takes title and body as inputs and outputs their representations. Since the title is short, we use GRU to encode it, and the news body is long and consists of the multiple sentences. So we encode it by self-attention, which can model long-term dependency. The two embeddings, OBK and SBK, are 2 positional embeddings. OBK is the word index in a sentence. SBK indicates the position of sentence in news body. The second layer is the fusion layer. This layer recognizes useful information in the title and fuses the information into the representation's body by attention mechanism and gate. The attention selects a useful information in the title, and the gate further controls how much such information flows into the representations of the article. It is used to balance the impact of the hidden vector HBK and the context vector CTK, and filter out the noise in context vector. And to extract a bunch of salient spans in news body, we build this prediction layer. Based on the body representations, this layer detects a sequence of spans. The notation A is the start position of span. E is associated end position. In this work, we propose detecting the spans with a multi-label classifier and a pointer network. Here we assume all the start positions are independent of each other. Each word holds a binary classifier each position holds a binary classifier to predict whether it is a start position. And after the start positions are predicted, the end positions are recognized via a pointer network. This approach allows us to flexibly detect a variable number spans in a variable among variable length news. And because there is no dependency among these classifiers, this approach can be computed in parallel. Note that we don't use the Pointer network to predict start positions, because either set a threshold or the probability distribution or picks a fixed number of spans is not reasonable. Both of them are sensitive to the length of the news body. Since these seeded spans are discrete variables, this operation will break down the backpropagation. I will elaborate on the learning methods later. This is the generation network. This network decodes a comment word by word at step T. The hidden state HD or GRU attend to the representations of seeded spans and the title to get two addition vectors. Then the three vectors are concatenated together and feed into an output layer to predict a distribution over the vocabulary. This is our learning method. During training, we aim to learn these two probabilities. That is the reading network and the generation network. Suppose there are n samples in the training set. The objective is defined as this form. The notation S refers to the space of sets of spans. Si is a set of seeded spans for a piece of news TIBI. In our experiments, the seeded spans for each news are available. So we treat them as latent variables. In this equation, the logarithmic function is outside the summation over the latent variable. So it's difficult to optimize. Here we try to maximize a lower bound, which is defined as this formula below. This equality is a finite form of Jason's equality, and the logarithmic is a concave function, and the comment generation probabilities couldn't be equal. So here the objective L is less than J. Then, given a training sample, the gradient of the lower bound is defined as this equation. Because S is the latent variable, the summation is still intractable. In this work, we employ a Monte Carlo sampling method to approximate the gradients, which is in this form. J is the sampling number. Although the Monte Carlo estimator is unbiased, but it suffers from high variance. To alleviate this issue, we subtract two baselines following common practice in reinforcement learning. The first one is an observation-dependent baseline inspired by Smith's work. It is used to capture systematic difference in news comment pair. To get this baseline, we encode the title and the comment sequence with GRUs respectively, then feed the last hidden states to a three-layer perception. The second baseline is a global baseline to further control the variance of the estimator. It is the average of the difference between the two previous terms over a mini batch. The parameters of the two GRU and MRP are estimated by mean square error. And to accelerate the convergence, we initialize our model by pre-training the reading network and the generation network. For each news, we construct an artificial span set and maximize the following objective. Here, the notation tilde-s is an artificial span set. In our paper, we test our model on two large-scale datasets. The first one is a Tencent news corpus published in ACL 2018. It's a Chinese dataset, and each data point is composed of a news article and a group of comments. The third one is an English corpus we crawled from Yahoo News website. The table shows the details of each dataset. Following King's work, we evaluated the performance of different models with both automatic metrics and human judgment. In human evaluation, for each dataset, we randomly sample 500 samples from the test set and recurrent 3 native speakers to judge the quality of the comments generated by different models. The criteria are shown in this table. This table reports the evaluation results in terms of both automatic metrics and human annotations. The model with postfix T represents learning only uses news title. The postfix TC uses both title and body. We can see on most metrics, our model DeepCom outperforms the baseline methods. The number in bold means that improvement over the best baseline is statistically significant. Compare the models with postfix T and postfix TC, we can conclude the news body could provide useful information, even used in a simple way. The model IRTC and attention TC is the best retrieval model and the best generation model among baselines of both datasets. The two rightmost columns are human judgment results and kappa value. The human evaluation results are calculated by averaging scores from 3 annotators. Then we compare the full model with 3 variants: no reading, no prediction, and no sampling. The no reading means the entire reading network is replaced by a TF-IDF-based keyword extractor, and the top 40 words are fed into the generation network. Its performance drops most, so the span prediction could not be simply replaced by a TF-IDF-based extractor. The no prediction variance doesn't have the prediction layer, where the entire news body is fed into the generation network. It is evident that even with sophisticated representations, we cannot directly feed the entire news to the generation network, as the generation process is vulnerable to the noise in the news. To further analyze, we calculate the blue score between the predicted spans and the comments, and compare it with the score between the entire news and the comments. We found the blue score of the predicted spans is larger than the entire news. This means by extracting salient spans, we can filter out redundant information while keeping the main points in news. The third variance, no sampling, is a model pre-trained by artificial spans I just mentioned. The results indicate that pre-training is useful, but optimizing the lower bound is still beneficial. After we found the spans in full model, and we found the spans in full model after optimized by the lower bound is much longer than the artificial spans. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. This table shows the distribution of human labels. Most bad comments from best retrieval model are labeled as score 2, meaning although its retrieval comments are rich in content, but they are easy to diverge from news and be judged as irrelevant. The best generation model has more comments judged as score 1. This indicates that it often generates ill-formed sentences. Most bad cases from our model DeepCom are concentrated on score 3. It reminds us that we need to further enrich the content and improve the relevance in the future. This is a case from the test dataset. This is a piece of news about Chinese actress Tiffany. The contents in red box are salient spans extracted by our reading network. The contents in blue box, Chinese Planning 3, is a generated entity included in salient spans. We can see that the model could find some interesting points after reading news. In the comments, Luo Jing is Tiffany's partner, but not talked in this news. This indicates although we didn't explicitly introduce extra knowledge in our modeling, but our model can still extend the content of the article with the knowledge learned from the whole training set. So in conclusion, in this paper, we propose a read-attend comment procedure for news comment generation and formalize it with a reading network and generation network. And we empirically verify the effectiveness of our model on 2 news community data sets. Third, we are aware of the potential ethical issues with the applications of these methods to generate news commentary that is taken as human. We hope to stimulate discussion about best practices and controls of these methods around the responsibility uses of the technology. That's all. Thank you.
We have time for 1 or 2 questions.
Hello? Okay.
Hello.
Hi. So previous work such as Grover that was considered, that considered fake news detection, they outlined specific mitigation techniques against fake news generation, also released their code and model for the research community to use. So,
Sorry, please beat slowly. Okay.
what?
Please beat slowly. Thank you.
Repeat? Oh, slower. Oh, sorry. So previous work, such as Grover, it was a paper that was surrounding fake news generation. In their paper, they outlined specific mitigation techniques against fake news, and they also released their code and model for the research community. So I'm wondering, if you're now considering the ethical implications of your work, why are you not releasing the model and code?
Okay. While I do experiments and writing, I really didn't realize the ethical issues. After this, but in our intended target use, we explicitly disclose comments from a popular chatbot. So this work is not about the disinformation or trolling. So I think there's no ethical issues in this work. Did I answer your question?
Okay, to keep up with the schedule, maybe you can have a discussion offline, and we're ready to, let's thank our speaker again. Thanks.